a $450 million painting, helicopter with gold-plated interiors, and a 530.4 carats diamond. These are some of the stupidly expensive things owned by some world leaders. Vladimir Putin, Russia. When it comes to the lavish lifestyles of world leaders, Vladimir Putin might just take the gold-plated cake. He owns a palace officially called Putin's Palace that sits on the Black Sea coast. The place is believed to be worth $1.37 billion. It has a vineyard, an underground hockey rink, and even a private theater. This palace first came to light in 2010 when whistleblower Sergei Kolesnikov spilled the beans in an open letter to then-President Dmitry Medvedev, revealing the existence of the estate. According to Kolesnikov, this hideaway was funded by a corruption scheme orchestrated by Putin's close associates. Later, Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's 2021 documentary blew the lid off this architectural wonder, exposing its hidden casino, pole dancing room, and even a room for miniature railroads. Yes, apparently Putin has a thing for tiny trains. Recent reports suggest the palace underwent some changes in 2024, replacing its more scandalous features with lounging spaces and even a chapel dedicated to Saint Vladimir. There's more. Putin's luxurious taste isn't just about real estate. His car collection includes a highly customized $300,000 Urus Sonat, a vehicle so fortified it might as well be a rolling fortress. Then there's his private jet, adorned with a $137,000 gold-plated toilet. And let's not forget his watch collection, which includes timepieces worth more than the average citizen's lifetime earnings. And speaking of extravagance, let's move from Russia to the desert sands of Saudi Arabia, where King Salman bin Abdulaziz shows what extravagance really means: $1 million painting and yacht. House of Saud, Saudi Arabia. If you think luxury has limits, the House of Saud is here to prove otherwise. The ruling monarchy of Saudi Arabia doesn't just dabble in luxury, they practically invented it. With a jaw-dropping net worth of $1.4 trillion, the Saud family's wealth dwarfs that of the British royal family many times over. This fortune is primarily from Saudi Arabia's vast oil reserves, discovered over 75 years ago. These reserves transformed not just the country, but also the ruling family into global oil moguls. One of the most prominent faces of this luxury is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. In 2017, he made headlines by purchasing Leonardo da Vinci's painting Salvator Mundi for a staggering $450 million. That's nearly $500 million for a single painting. If that wasn't enough, he also spent $300 million on the Chateau Louis XIV in France. This masterpiece was called the world's most expensive home, and it has both indoor and outdoor pools, a wine cellar, a private cinema, and even a moat with an underwater viewing chamber. Then there's the $400 million super yacht Serene, which comes complete with a seawater pool, 2 helipads, and an underwater observation room. Salman bought it on impulse after spotting it during a vacation, but that's not all. The family also owns the Prince Abdulaziz, a 482-foot royal yacht with enough staterooms to accommodate 64 guests. Speaking of palaces, the House of Saud's real estate assets redefines the word grand. The Al Yamama Palace in Riyadh, which serves as the official residence of the king, has over 4 million square feet. It has Italian marble floors and amenities like a bowling alley, a private cinema, and multiple swimming pools. The Saud family's extravagance also moves to their fleet of luxury vehicles. Gold-plated Lamborghinis, Rolls-Royces, and Mercedes-Benz cars are just the tip of the iceberg. Several people wonder on the contrast between the House of Saud's lavish lifestyle and the economic struggles faced by many in the region. Yet, this hasn't stopped the royal family from continuing in their over-the-top spending habits. And speaking of larger-than-life rulers, next up is North Korea's Kim Jong-un, who takes extravagance in a whole new direction with a private train fitted with luxury. Kim Jong-un, North Korea. North Korea is a nation that deals in mystery and hardship, but their supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, has no problem spending on luxuries that most of people can only dream of. Let's start with his favorite wheels, Mercedes-Benz Pullman limousines. These bulletproof beauties don't just scream power, they flaunt it. At nearly $1.6 million each, These limos are accompanied out with every luxury imaginable. Of course, owning one of these is a violation of international sanctions, but when has that ever stopped Kim? In fact, he even rolled up to a meeting with then CIA Director Mike Pompeo in his $500,000 armored Rolls-Royce Phantom, just to make a statement. Kim's car obsession doesn't stop at limos. His collection also includes over 100 luxury vehicles that shows a $162,000 Audi R8, a $100,000 Range Rover, and several other high-end models. It's almost as if he's building his own car show, except no one else is invited. But cars aren't the only transportation mode Kim has a flair for. His extravagant spending also goes to the seas and rails. He's been spotted on a $7 million princess yacht, with saloons, dining areas, and 4 luxurious bedrooms. And if that's not enough, satellite images show another massive yacht at his Wonsan compound. Then there's his infamous private train, a 90-car beast with everything from dining cars serving French cuisine to conference rooms and plush leather interiors. What it lacks in speed, it makes up in luxury. Estimated at over $135 million, the train stands as Kim's lavish lifestyle. And let's not forget his passion for Swiss watches. Kim has been spotted with timepieces worth tens of thousands of dollars, including an IWC Portofino and Movado Museum watches. His collection is said to worth $8.2 million. And speaking of world leaders who know how to flaunt their wealth, let's shift gears to Donald Trump, a man who turned gold-plated interiors into his personal brand. Donald Trump, USA. Donald Trump's collection of ridiculously expensive things is as extravagant as you'd expect from a billionaire who loves gold and luxury. Before becoming the 45th President of the United States, Trump was already famous for his lifestyle, and his possessions show that. His penthouse in Trump Tower, New York City, is a perfect example. It has 3 floors and is valued at $100 million. The penthouse is a masterpiece of excess. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, murals painted on the ceilings, and just about everything else plated in 24-karat gold make it more of a palace than an apartment. Despite the building being only 58 stories tall, Trump calls his penthouse the 68th floor because, well, he can. His love for luxury is shown in his car collection, which includes some of the most expensive vehicles in the world. Among his prized possessions is a $445,000 Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren and a $500,000 Rolls-Royce Phantom, customized with gold accents. Trump's history with Rolls-Royce goes way back. His first car was a 1956 Silver Cloud, and decades later, Rolls-Royce made him an exact replica. He also owns a flashy $460,000 Lamborghini Diablo and an original Tesla Roadster, which he bought for $200,000, despite publicly dismissing climate change. When it comes to air travel, Trump's Boeing 757, nicknamed Trump Force One, is nothing short of extraordinary. This $100 million private jet features gold-plated seatbelts, a master bedroom with a 24-karat gold sink, and a dining room. It's 3 times the size of a regular private jet and can hold up to 44 people at the same time. But Trump doesn't just stick to the skies. His estate in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, is another example of his larger-than-life lifestyle. Purchased in 1985 for $7 million, the 110,000-square-foot mansion has 58 bedrooms, 33 bathrooms, 3 bomb shelters, tennis courts, pools, and a 20,000-square-foot ballroom. Today, it serves as both a private residence and a resort, where members pay $100,000 just to join. Trump's obsession with gold is shown in nearly everything he owns, from his $7 million Sikorsky S-76 helicopter with gold-plated interiors to his custom gold motorcycle gifted by American Chopper. Even his watch collection reflects his taste for excess, with highlights like a $109,000 Rolex Ice Blue Platinum. Perhaps Trump's most expensive purchase ever was the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, which cost him a whopping $1.2 billion. This massive complex has nightclubs, high-end restaurants, and even an amusement park. From Trump's golden world of extravagance, we turn to another leader with a legacy of luxury, Queen Elizabeth II. Her royal estates and treasures are constant reminders of the wealth and grandeur of the British monarchy. Queen Elizabeth II, United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth II, the late monarch of the United Kingdom, possessed a wide range of extravagant items that showed her royal status and personal tastes. Among these was the HMY Britannia, a royal yacht launched in 1953. This floating palace comes with luxurious fittings like silver cutlery and golden door handles. It served the royal family for over 4 decades, traveling more than 1 million nautical miles before being decommissioned in 1997. Today, it is a tourist attraction, allowing visitors to have a glimpse of the royal maritime life. Her Majesty's art collection was nothing short of exceptional. It has around 1 million pieces, including paintings by masters such as Rembrandt and Michelangelo, and at least 600 drawings by Leonardo da Vinci. This vast assemblage, considered the largest private art collection globally, also featured an extensive array of French furniture and ornaments, expressing the Queen's appreciation for fine art and history. In terms of land ownership, the Queen's possessions are quite shocking. She was believed to own approximately 6 million acres, equating to about 1/6 of the world's non-oceanic surface. Her possession also extended to the UK's open water fisheries, featuring species like sturgeon, whales, porpoises, and dolphins. This ownership, rooted in a statute from 1324 during King Edward II's reign, designated these creatures as the sovereign's property. In a surprising twist, the Queen's property portfolio included a McDonald's drive-through. Acquired through the purchase of a retail park near Windsor Castle in 2008 for £92 million. The Queen's real estate was equally impressive. The Sandringham estate in Norfolk, a personal home for 4 generations of the royal family, with 20,000 acres of lush fields and forests. The estate's main house, constructed in 1771, shows stunning bay windows, an elegant entrance hall, and even retained gas lighting. It blends history with royal elegance. Balmoral Castle in Scotland, purchased in 1852 for Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, was another cherished residence. It is amidst 20,000 acres of prime Scottish farmland. The architecture and serene environment made it a favoured retreat for the Queen, away from public scrutiny. The Queen's automotive collection was equally noteworthy. Her official state vehicle, the Bentley State Limousine, gifted for her Golden Jubilee in 2002, featured bulletproof bodywork and glass, a twin-turbocharged 6.75-litre V8 engine, and lambswool sateen cloth rear seats, combining security with luxury. Among her personal cars was a 1984 Jaguar Daimler 6 long-wheelbase saloon, custom designed for drives around her Windsor estates. It has an advanced communication systems and a rear bench for her pet dogs. This vehicle was auctioned for $77,000 in 2010. The Queen was also known for driving a custom Range Rover, notably during the 2010 Royal Windsor Horse Show. This SUV has a twin-turbocharged V8 engine and a bespoke corgi statue on the bonnet. Crowning her collection was an extensive array of jewellery, including the renowned crown jewels. Pieces like the Girls of Great Britain tiara, also known as Granny's tiara, and the Cullinan jewels, featuring some of the world's largest diamonds. The diamond diadem, adorned with 1,333 diamonds, and the Cullinan femme, the largest clear-cut diamond globally at 530.4 carats, stood out as exceptional treasures within this assemblage. Moving on from the wealth of the British royalty, let's turn attention to Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Thani of Qatar, whose collection of exquisite artifacts and jewels is bigger than that of most monarchs. Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Thani, Qatar. Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah Al Thani, a member of Qatar's royal family, is known for owning some of the most expensive and rare treasures in the world. His passion for collecting has made him a key figure in the world of art and luxury, with items in his collection that go back thousands of years and represent many cultures. His wealth and love for beautiful things have helped him gather an extraordinary collection that is admired around the globe. One of his most famous possessions is the Al Thani collection, which includes rare artifacts, jewelry, and historical pieces from across the ages. A standout item is the Tiger Eye, a turban ornament with a cognac-colored diamond set in platinum by Cartier in 1937. Its value is unknown, but likely enormous. Another incredible piece is an imperial Mughal necklace with 7 carved spinels, which Sheikh Hamad bought for $1.8 million at Christie's in 2014. His collection also includes gold, silver and enamel beetle boxes from Hyderabad, covered in diamonds, which he purchased for £662,000 at Sotheby's in 2013. Sheikh Hamad's love for rare and beautiful things moved to European furniture and art. He has a passion for 18th century French furniture, although this has occasionally caused problems. In 2016, he was tricked into buying fake chairs that were said to belong to Marie Antoinette. Even so, he continues to collect amazing pieces. His collection isn't just about jewelry and furniture. He also owns one of the most expensive private homes in Britain, Dudley House in London's Mayfair. This property is worth £316 million and is known for its grand design and luxurious interiors. One of his most famous purchases is a Belle Epoque brooch by Cartier made in 1912. It has 3 large diamonds, a 34-carat pear-shaped diamond, a 23.55-carat oval diamond, and a 6.51-carat marquise-cut diamond. He bought this piece for $17.8 million in 2014. What's amazing is that the same brooch sold in 1991 for just $2.65 million, showing how much the value of such treasures can grow over time. In addition to collecting, Sheikh Hamad is also known for giving back. In 2022, he sold more than 1,300 items from his former property, the Hôtel Lambert in Paris, raising $75.4 million for an art charity. This showed not only the size of his collection, but also his willingness to support the arts and share his passion with the world. Sheikh Hamad's treasures are more than just expensive things. They represent his love for history, art, and culture. Next, we turn to Muammar Gaddafi, whose approach to luxury and leadership offers a very different story from Sheikh Hamad's world of priceless treasures. Muammar Gaddafi, Libya. Muammar Gaddafi, the former Libyan leader, lived a life of unimaginable luxury while his country faced poverty and turmoil. Known for his controversial rule, Gaddafi got an extraordinary fortune. Some place his wealth at $200 billion. His extravagant lifestyle was on full display in his possessions, the most notable being his private jet, real estate, and custom-built cars. One of Gaddafi's most famous acquisitions was his $150 million private jet, the Airbus A340, nicknamed Afrikia 1. This wasn't just a plane, it was a flying palace. The interior was adorned with gold-plated fixtures, including a bathroom that would rival the most luxurious spas. The seats were upholstered in the finest leather, and the plane boasted a master bedroom fit for royalty. There was even a bizarre personal touch, a photo album of Condoleezza Rice reflecting Gaddafi's peculiar admiration for the former US Secretary of State. The jet also featured onboard Wi-Fi, a bar, and nightclub-style lighting, turning every flight into a lavish experience. There's also his properties. In London's upscale Hampstead neighborhood, he owned an 8-bedroom mansion worth $10 million. This house came with 6 bathrooms, a cinema room, an indoor swimming pool, a sauna, and a jacuzzi. The property even had an underground bin storage system that could hide 8 rubbish bins with the push of a button, because why should trash ruin the view? Across the Atlantic, Gaddafi owned another mansion in Englewood, New Jersey, nicknamed Thunder Rock. Purchased in 1982 for $1 million, the estate had a swimming pool, tennis court, and shooting range. In Libya, Gaddafi's Tripoli compound was a fortress like no other. It served as both his residence and a military base. The compound included a mosque, a football pitch, a swimming pool, and various administrative buildings. Gaddafi often stayed in a Bedouin-style air-conditioned tent on the grounds. However, the compound's most infamous feature was its underground bunkers, designed to withstand attacks. After Gaddafi's death in 2011, parts of the compound were demolished, with plans to turn the site into a public park. Gaddafi's love for flashy transportation was evident in his cars. His Libyan rocket, a custom-built vehicle designed by Gaddafi himself, was both futuristic and strange. It has a 230-horsepower V6 engine, airbags, an electronic defense system, and collapsible bumpers. Despite his wealth, Gaddafi's rule was filled with widespread poverty and oppression in Libya. While he lavished in gold-plated luxuries and multi-million-dollar mansions, many Libyans struggled to access basic necessities. His extravagant lifestyle became a symbol of his regime's excesses, and after his fall, much of his wealth was seized or went missing. From Gaddafi's world of excess, we move to Saddam Hussein, the Iraqi leader who believes in a gold-plated AK-47. Saddam Hussein, Iraq. Saddam Hussein, the notorious Iraqi dictator, had a deep love for extravagance that knew no bounds. Among his most possessions was a gold-plated AK-47, a gleaming symbol of his wealth and authority. This lavish firearm wasn't just for show, it epitomized the opulence that Saddam surrounded himself with during his reign. But the golden rifle was merely the tip of the iceberg. Saddam's indulgence in luxury was most evident in the numerous palaces he commissioned across Iraq. It's estimated that he built between 80 to 100 palaces during his 24-year rule, each more better than the last. These estates, adorned with marble floors, gold fittings, and intricate carvings, were constructed at the expense of billions of dollars. One of the most remarkable of these structures was the Al-Faw Palace, located near Baghdad International Airport. This palace, like many others, featured artificial lakes, lush gardens, and opulent interiors designed to showcase Saddam's unchallenged dominance. Saddam's extravagance wasn't limited to real estate. He had a well-documented love for luxury cars, amassing a fleet that included air-conditioned Mercedes limousines imported annually from Kuwait. His personal life, Saddam indulged in the finest things money could buy. He frequented exclusive tailors in Baghdad, ordering top-of-the-line suits to maintain his sharp appearance. His culinary preferences included barbecued pheasant, often hunted by himself during excursions into the Iraqi countryside. These hunting trips, however, were not just for sport. They sometimes served as a backdrop for eliminating political adversaries who inadvertently revealed dissenting views in the relaxed atmosphere. Despite international sanctions and economic hardships faced by ordinary Iraqis, Saddam's wealth continued to grow. In 1997, Forbes estimated his net worth at $5 billion, ranking him among the world's richest individuals. By 2000, his fortune had reportedly increased to at least $7 billion. Next on the list is Bashar al-Assad, who, though being a dictator, decided to enrich himself. Bashar al-Assad, Syria. Bashar al-Assad, the former leader of Syria, often tried to appear as a modest and simple man. But the truth about his life was far from simple. His abandoned homes and possessions revealed a life of incredible luxury that most people could only dream of. Assad's homes were like something out of a fairy tale. One of his palaces in Damascus had walls covered in gold leaf and rooms filled with expensive furniture. After the palace was left empty, people were seen taking red carpets and fancy items like Dior handbags. The things left behind were not just everyday belongings, they were treasures that showed how much wealth Assad had secretly gathered. His love for expensive cars was another sign of his extravagant life. In his collection were some of the rarest and most costly cars in the world, including a Ferrari F50, a Lamborghini Diablo, and a Rolls-Royce. The Ferrari F50, for example, is worth more than $5.5 million. These cars weren't just for driving, they were symbols of his power and riches. Assad's wealth didn't stop at cars and homes. Reports suggest his family controlled around $16 billion in hidden assets. This included 200 tons of gold and billions of euros stashed away in secret accounts. His fortune wasn't limited to Syria. Assad's family owned businesses and properties all over the world. These included luxury real estate and investments in many countries. The family used complicated financial tricks to hide their wealth, making it difficult to figure out exactly how much they owned. The possessions of these leaders are quite shocking. However, if you're curious about royal households with immense power in the Middle East, check out our next video, The Royal Family That Control the Middle East.